The question that is in everyone's mind when they've never done this before is, where do I camp? And I'm here to answer it for you. But first, you have to answer a question. Do you want to sleep or do you want to party? Texas is not only the biggest Renaissance festival in the world, I believe, but it is the only one that I know of that allows you to camp. This, of course, does cost money. You can buy a camping pass separately, or you can buy a stay and play pass, which I highly recommend the stay and play pass because you get not only the camping from Thursday to Monday at noon, but you get entry to the fair both days. So the price that you are paying for your stay and play pass is not just camping, which is normally $25 if you buy it beforehand, 30 something dollars if you wait until the last minute to buy it. That's camping alone. When you get the stay and play pass, it bundles 2 or 3 if you're going Thanksgiving weekend days of fair entry into your ticket. You have to have a pass to the fair in order to camp. So you can either purchase your pass into the fair and your camping pass separately, or you can just get the stay and play. There is a little fee that you can tack on that will allow you to switch dates if something should come up and you do not wish to go camping or to the festival on the days that you selected. Like maybe the weather is terrible, because the Ren Fest is open rain or shine. The cost for the weekend for the stay and play pass is dependent upon how popular that weekend is. There are 3 weekends that I have heard that are very, very popular. That is Pirate Weekend, Barbarian Weekend, and the Celtic Christmas, which is the last weekend of the fair and is 3 days, not 2. We went on opening weekend, which was the lightest attendance, and I think it was still over 20,000 people went to fair on Saturday, which kind of boggles my mind. The question that is in everyone's mind when they've never done this before is, where do I camp? And I'm here to answer it for you. But first, you have to answer a question. Do you want to sleep or do you want to party? There is a fine line between the two. You can party all night, listen to the party all night, or you can sleep. And even in the not partying camping, you're going to need earplugs because there are generators galore going all night. It's hot in Texas. Opening weekend, it was 95 degrees. That's hot. So people bring their RVs out. They have their air conditioning running so that they can get a break from the heat. I don't begrudge them that. We had a couple of neighbors who had generators. Only one of them kept them running all night. I had the silicone earplugs. I stuffed them in my ears and I was good to go. There is an invisible line running through the campground, south of which is what is called revel camping. And that's where you're going to find your big adult bonfire, where Brigadoon does their drumming. Across from that, you're going to find Call of Booty, which we're going to talk about in a later video. We're not going to get into them. All of the clans will have staked their claim before opening weekend. You are free to go in Thursday night and just find a spot. As long as you are not walking into somebody's roped off camp spot and it will be obvious. You will not accidentally tread into a clan's territory. You do not have to worry about that. You can pull up right next to a clan and camp there. That is fine. Just can't cross over into their roped off space. The clans require like a season ticket holder and they get to set up early. So there will at very least be some kind of enclosure or fence or marking that will show you you can't camp here. That said, if you want to be able to sleep, you need to be at least a little bit of walk from the bonfire. The quiet hours don't start until like midnight, Thursday and Friday and Sunday, I think. The amplified music goes until 1 a.m. on Saturday night. So we chose to stay above the Revel camping line. We were at Cemetery Lane and Angel Road, which was a very short walk to the bonfire where all of the food vendors were and the clans beyond. I will tell you that even having a map, it's a little bit difficult to find your way around for the very first time. But after you've walked it a few times, it's never going to leave your brain. I know how to get to Heathen Haven because I've walked it 4 times. So right on that line, that invisible line, just north of that line is an incredible place to set up camp because you are within walking distance to all of the festivities, but you are far enough away that if you smush some earplugs in your ears, you can maybe get some sleep at night. If you want nothing to do with the party, if you just want to be on premises so that you can get to the fair quickly, park way north. Park in the family camping up north. You can always take your car and drive down to the rows and park in the rows so that you are closer to the entrance, and then drive your car back to your campsite when you are done at the fair for the day. You do not have to walk 2 miles to the entrance of the fair if you don't want to. There are also carts that will shuttle you from designated spots within the campground. They're marked on the map to the entrance of the fair and then back again. I believe it is $5 per person per ride. Don't quote me. I did not spend money on that. I walked 18,000 steps on Sunday. Thank you. If you want to hoof it from your campsite to the fair and back again, just be aware that it's a bit of a stretch of the legs. It's a nice little walk. There are paved roads that you can walk on. You just got to make sure you get out of the way of the cars when they want to come down. The weekend that we went, there were not very many bugs. I think there was a vine that may have been poison ivy because I got a rash on my leg when I got tangled up in it. It was very spiky. So just be mindful of sticky bushes. Be mindful of the ants. I did give them an offering of jerky and did a ritual here. Please take this offering and leave us the F alone in our camp. And for the most part, they did exactly that. I did goof up and leave my coffee cup sitting on our table filled with sugary coffee Saturday morning. And then by the time we got back to camp, they were having a ball with that. They obviously thought that was another offering that I had left to them. My bad, all on me. They dispersed once we rinsed out that coffee cup and got all the sugar off of everything. And they didn't bother us again. So, bring some beef jerky for the ants. Be mindful of where the shade is and where the shade is going to be. We set our tent up in the morning and didn't think about where the evening sun was going to be. So I ended up having to drop one corner of our little tarp porch thing to try and shade us from the punishing afternoon sun. There are trees dotted around the campground. Don't be afraid to set up next to them. They're mostly young pines. Don't screw with the trees. Don't tie anything to the trees. Don't use the trees for fencing. The trees should be left alone to do their tree thing. You can snuggle up near them, but leave them alone. That's an official rule of the campground. Another important rule of the campground, there are no ground fires. No ground fires. If you're going to have a fire, it needs to be in something. They do sell kits that have like a fire pit and wood and all that. There's firewood for sale, I think, at the campground store, but there's also people who sell outside, like at the nearest gas station. We didn't have a fire. We didn't need a fire. I had my little propane stove so that I could have hot water, so that I could have my coffee in the morning, and I was good. Even though it was hot during the day, it did get pretty cold at night, like upper 50s, lower 60s. We did have wool blankets, but I did get a little chilled in the morning. I could have turned on our little buddy heater that we brought, but I was tired and lazy, and we didn't actually bring our carbon monoxide alarm thing, so we didn't use the little buddy heater. You can save money by feeding yourself at your campsite, but honestly, the only thing that we really did food-wise at our campsite was coffee in the mornings. We did go into Magnolia on Friday trying to chase down the right gas station and get some supplies. We did not find the right gas station and ended up going to Costco. Thank goodness for Costco. But there was a little place called Loco Taco, I think, that was in a gas station on the way back. We stopped and we got some tortas. Those were spicy. There was fresh jalapeno. I was very brave. I ate them. Those were spicy. I'm just going to warn you, if you don't like spicy food, that place, tasty, but quite spicy. Food trucks around the fire were safe. There was one place that was doing like a Creole style cooking, and they had a roast beef po' boy that had pickled green beans on it. It wasn't like home, but it was really, really good. Another thing that you need to know is showers are available. I don't know that hot water exists there. By the time we took our showers, there was no hot water, and I don't know that there ever was. You can purchase shower tokens, which will give you 8 minutes of water in the shower stall. That token will get you 8 minutes. Whether you have the water on or you shut the water off, you are getting 8 minutes from the time that you put the token in to the time where it's not going to give you any more water. I almost squeaked by with one token, but I was just getting ready to rinse the conditioner out of my hair when my water shut off. Sad face. Bring shower shoes or flip-flops. Bring your own toiletries. The showers have a little door that locks. There is a dry space with a little bench area. There's the token putty anything, and then there is the little shower with the one that I went to had a little rack where you could put your toiletries while you were doing your scrub-a-dubs. I don't think there are laundry services or places to wash your clothes, so keep that in mind. But there is a place once you leave the section of the showers. Right next door is a little like grooming station. It's like a wall of mirrors and counter space where you can get ready, you can put makeup on, you can blow dry your hair. There are plugs available for that. I never went into the camp store, but there is a camp store. I think there are 2 camp stores, and they sell basically everything that you could need. Some of it is at a premium because, you know, if you forget something very important like a tent, you can purchase it there, but it's going to cost you. Other than that, you get a wristband to wear. You have to have that wristband on for entry into the campgrounds. If you leave the campground to go get some food or to get some supplies, you just hold your wristband up and they wave you on through. I will say that the porta potty situation was fine until Saturday night. But after Saturday night, Sunday morning, walking in, it's like gambling. There is a service run by Gunnels and Sons where you can rent a private porta potty for your camp for, I think it's $125 for the weekend. If you, like me, are a tiny predator that needs people not to know when they're going to the restroom, I think that it's worth the expense, and it is something that I will be budgeting for next year because I never want to open a porta potty door and see the things that I saw this year at Texas Renaissance Festival ever again in my life. I can go without that. If you're going to drink, bring a buddy who's going to stay a little bit more sober than you are at the very least. There are people who will get you to your camp safe. If they see that you have maybe partied a little too hard, there are people who will make sure that you get somewhere safe, even if it's not your camp. They will make sure that you get some food in you, that you have some water, but that's not an excuse to just, you know, go balls to the walls and blitz yourself past the point of no return to the point where you cannot sit properly in the porta potty to do your business. Most people who are out at the campsite are going to be really considerate. There's always a percentage that is the bad quotient, but overall, most people are there to have a good time and they value consent. It is a party, but most of the people out there do like really value consent and they really care about the community that they have built up. There is definitely a sense of belonging there that is over and above even like the NerdCon experience that Ren Fair is, truly. The camping is just, it's like a home away from home. We were first timers and we were accepted with open arms. We made so many friends, people that I'm going to look forward to seeing year after year. It's a tradition now. There is something for everyone at this campground. You just have to go looking for it and you have to respect the rules that are in place. Each clan has rules for their space, and if you don't know the rules, you probably shouldn't go in there. You should probably talk to somebody before you just waltz into their space, into their campground area. There are obvious exceptions to that rule. Heathen Haven, ODB, Smoky Bandits, Amped Up Shanties, Call of Booty when the dance party is going. When they have a spectacular light show and music pumping, that you can assume that that is an invitation to you to come check it out. Do so respectfully. Don't throw your weight around and decide that you belong here. If it's your first time, try to find somebody, introduce yourself. Each clan has its own vibe and they decide what that vibe is. It is up to you to decide where your vibes mesh. Like if you want to go down to Heathen Haven and you just want to sit and you want to watch the light show, they are happy for you to do that. Just be respectful. Respect other people. I think that if you like camping and you like Renaissance festivals, I think it's an amazing experience, and I think it is worth 16 hours of travel to get down there and then 16 hours of travel back, which, you know, not a short trip, but I definitely think that it's worth it. And if you have a long way to go and you don't want to bring camping stuff, there are rentals. They have RVs that you can rent, glamping tents, and they have cabins. If you have a long way to come, that might be a really good thing to consider. They're not cheap by any means, but it's an experience, and you don't have to bring all your camping stuff hundreds of miles if you pay the premium to rent. Do try to book early. Don't get there on Friday and think that you're going to get a glamping tent for that weekend. You need to book in advance because these things do sell out. Be respectful. Don't put anything in the bonfire that doesn't go in the bonfire, like a propane tank. Why would you do that? Keep your hands to yourself unless they're requested somewhere. Please remember that consent matters, and even bystanders should be consenting if you're going to do something that makes there be bystanders. So just be respectful. Be respectful. That is the #1 rule of the campgrounds and should be for life, really, truly. Just be respectful. Buy your tickets in advance. Save the ticket on your phone, the little code that it gives you, to your camera roll. That way you do not have to have an internet connection to show off the fact that you have already paid your money to get in. That's very important. Do that for the campground. Do that for the festival itself as well. The gates are open 24/7 from when they open on Thursday a.m., I think, to Monday noon. You have to be out Monday by noon. If you are late, they may charge you an extra fee to open the gate. And if you are really late, law enforcement might come and be involved. If you are going a long way and you're setting up at a tent, be mindful that you're probably going to have a lot of dew on your tent Monday morning. If you are hoping that leaving it up, it will dry, I will tell you, you probably need, especially if you have parked yourself in morning shade, to take your rain fly off and put it in the sun so that things will be dry enough to pack up for your long trip back. If you live in Houston or the surrounding area, you can just unpack your tent when you get home and dry it out. But if you have more than a couple of hours to drive, you want your tent to be dry so that you do not ruin your tent or, you know, have mold or something grow on it. Be mindful that you're going to have to wake up Monday morning, dry everything out before you pack everything up. Wherever you decide that you're going to be, pull up your Maps app of your choice and put a little pin right where your campsite is. Favorite it. Make a little pin so that you can use your GPS to get back to your campsite, especially if you're going to be drinking. Take care of you so that you can continue to have fun. If I have forgotten anything, please feel free to put it in the comments. I want this to be educational for people who have not been, because I know that I get serious anxiety doing things for the first time, and having information that will arm me to be prepared for what I'm going to experience helps calm that anxiety. So I'm just trying to help other people like me. Put your tips in the comments so that we can help everybody have a nice, chill, pleasant time. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every moment of your attention that you give me. I hope that I have provided you with some information that will be useful to you. I love you, and I will see you at Texas Renaissance Festival for Pirate Weekend next year in 2025. And I will also see you next week on Tuesday.